Peace and
Live for
salutations.
the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. We are here. I'm here with two Flaker fans, so I had to rep my team as I'm sitting here with Ray Jarvis and Anthony, the president of the Brooklyn division, the Brooklyn Laker. How do you say it again?
Laker Nation Brooklyn division.
Thank you.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Whole sentence.
Wow.
So wow. Roll off your tongue.
Thank you guys for joining me on this Zoom special edition. Is Steph Curry overrated? Now, some fans listening to that might have an eye popping out and saying, what are you talking about? Anthony Mullen has been preaching this since 2015 for the last 5 years, that Steph Curry is overrated. Ray Jarvis can't stand that, and he's here to debate him on it. So let's open up the floor. Anthony, what do you mean by when you say Steph Curry is overrated?
Okay, right to it. To those who have ever felt that Steph Curry was the best player in the league, the second best player in the league. I don't even think he's ever been the third best player in the league. Like all of this, when, he was better than LeBron, he's better than this guy and that guy. And then, of course, KD gets there. It's not even his team anymore, but yet everybody's trying to make it Steph's team. And all of this, just over. Just let him be the greatest shooter there ever was. Like, we don't have to, lift him to these other standards because we have LeBron fatigue and we just trying to get him out of there or whoever else the case. But I don't know where it came from. I don't know. It stopped, of course. I haven't heard it lately. But, again, if you've ever said he was the best player in the league, if you've ever rated him that high, you have overrated Steph Curry.
Okay, so your problem is mostly just saying that the best player in the league title is reserved for LeBron since he acquired it from Kobe.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Or you can. It's arguments, of course. Now, like especially with the past year, it's arguments with who's taken that title since then. But specifically, Steph Curry, when he was reigning MVP and he was lighting the league up. That was all good and dandy, but he was not the best player in the league. He was never the best player in the league.
Okay, Ray, what are your thoughts on Anthony's comments about being the best player in the league?
My thoughts on Anthony's comments just makes me wonder, like, the dismissiveness when it comes to Steph Curry. Like, he wasn't this, he wasn't that, just let him be the best shooter in the league, so on and so forth. But Steph Curry's performance does not represent someone who's just the best shooter in the league or the best shooter of all time. The man won back-to-back MVPs. He's the linchpin of the most dynamic offense in NBA history. He's a lot more than just some guy who can shoot threes. So when I hear Anthony talking about just be one thing, his game indicates that he's a lot more than just one thing. He's much more than just a shooter. And let's take it a step further. People who are pushing that LeBron narrative that he was no longer the best player in the league and that it was Steph, is mostly LeBron James's fault. LeBron James was the one who went to Cleveland in the 2014-2015 season and essentially took his foot off the gas for most of that year. And if you don't believe me, for you numbers nerds, go look at the stats. All the numbers across the board, all of the efficiency numbers that LeBron loves to lean on represent the fact that he took the year off in 14-15. And hold on, and then early on, and then into 15-16, LeBron James wasn't going as hard as we know he could because the numbers supported that. And during that time when Steph Curry was doing his thing, he was the best player in the league because the league had changed, right? The league changed, and what he did best was what the league was veering towards. If you want to say that he's no longer the best in the league, that's fine. But 15-16 and late 14-15, Steph Curry grabbed the league. That's a fact.
Yes, he grabbed the heartstrings of the league.
He grabbed a lot more than the heartstrings of the league.
Yes, he grabbed the heartstrings of the league. He did not grab the number one spot. Again, how does he automatically overlap KD? Let's just go there. How did he automatically overlap KD? The same player who, again,
the best offensive season in NBA history doesn't represent overlapping someone?
The best, say that one time?
He had the 15-16 season,
the unanimous offensive season. He said he had the best offensive season.
Yes, by the numbers, he was statistically the best season.
By what standard?
All the numbers, the stats. I'm not making this up.
Again, are you telling me efficiency? Because I know you're not talking about in total numbers. Or not. Yeah, so he had one of.
But by far of efficiency, he was the most efficient player in NBA history, shooting threes predominantly.
And
They gave him that.
give
I
him
didn't
that.
make that number up. That was them.
I gave him that already. We said this greatest shooter ever.
No. You didn't give him that. You said let him be the greatest shooter of all time.
Yes, that's giving him that.
There's a modicum of dismissiveness in that, Anthony.
It's not dismissive. It's let's get that out the way. That's what he is. We know that already. Let's get to
that's all he is,
what
a three-point shooter.
about.
He's Sasha Vujic.
No, I didn't say just that. I said the greatest, for one, the greatest shooter we've ever seen. That's nothing to sneeze at.
So in terms of understanding the best player in the league title, what does that actually mean? Does it mean shooting? Does it mean defense? Does it mean box office? Does it mean?
Let me go into what he was talking about.
Do we each have a different definition of the best player in the league? Maybe that's the issue, is that Ray sees the best player in the league as something, and Anthony sees it as something completely different.
He was talking about the numbers and things like that. Let's even talk about the numbers. Me personally, I'm not just solely a stats guy. I am also common sense, and as everybody like to say, eye test and all this different kind of thing. And let's bring up what
let's go there. I was waiting for you to say that nonsense. Let's go there.
And we also are we obviously have the same common sense. If me and you both know that LeBron takes his foot off the gas. Not that he's not as good. Right. Not that he's not as good. He takes his foot off the gas because he's older. He can't go all out, and he saves it for when he needs it. Okay, all right. So to me, and just like you said, Steph had the best seasons because of that. And yes, that's what the MVP is. The best season / narrative / on one of the best teams in the league. We know that's how you get MVP. That does not make you the best player in the league.
But I also said that where the league was going and what Steph was doing, they granted that based on what he was doing. It was a three-point driven league, pace and space. We know all of that. We understand that. We're not even, really and truly, we're not even disputing if he's the best. We know better. But the issue is you pumping him down as if he's just a schmag. He's a lot more than that.
No, I'm just pumping him as
represent you calling him a schmag.
I'm just saying he never was. I can't even say top three. He never was top three in the league.
So when they won 73 games and he had one of the greatest seasons of all time, he was just a guy having a fluky season.
No, he was a great top five, just like he is now. I'll give him top five. He's a top five player.
Top five.
But he was
Anthony, how about this? The year he won unanimous MVP, that was the 2015-2016 year.
Right.
He wasn't a top three player in the league?
No.
Based on what? What made him outside the top three? Because he wasn't guys that you like more? Because that's what it's about. You don't like Steph.
Just the fact
like other players more.
LeBron, no, they were better. Just because, that's another thing too. Just because people weren't on better, like the KDs of the world. Just because his team beat KD's team doesn't make him better than KD.
So who are the top? Okay. So back in 2016, then who are the top three players in the league? So you're saying LeBron?
That's what I'm saying. I go LeBron,
who else?
KD, Anthony Davis, and then that's when I said, I go maybe Steph after Russ after that. But he's top five. Him and Russ can switch 4 or 5.
But what makes it? But to me, it's a matter of. And again, I'm trying.
It sounds like preference to me.
Right. So I'm trying.
It's not preference. It's best. It's and again, we've seen what happened when again, even shorthanded, we've seen LeBron, because he was the better player, take the better team further than they needed to be. When he lost Kyrie in Love, when he lost Kyrie in Love, what did they do? They went to 6. Shouldn't even went that far. Next year, came back from 3-1.
You can't say shouldn't. Like y'all, the funny thing about y'all NBA fans, and it cracks me up, is when y'all say it shouldn't. Most teams, and we all watch the same game, so we're not even gonna play that game. We all watch the same game. We know that teams, when they first go far in the playoffs, they have series that should not go longer than they should. Case in point, our beloved Lakers in the 08-09 season went 7 with the Rockets. We went 6 with the Nuggets. We went longer against teams we had no business having series with. That's part of the process.
They was tough.
You can't pick and choose when you want to grade people on certain things. You can't do that. Golden State had to learn. That's all it was. They had to learn.
Okay. And then what did they learn? What did they learn the next year?
Oh, so we gotta act like Steph Curry wasn't hurt. Go ahead. Go ahead and do it.
Hurt when?
What you mean you hurt when? A grade 3 MCL sprain is nothing?
You talking about when they lost?
The grade 3 MCL sprain is nothing? Say it. Let me hear you say it.
It's nothing. He played.
Right. Hold on. So, moderator, I just want you to know. The following season when KD pulled up, he had a grade 2 MCL sprain, a lower grade of the same knee injury. He proceeded to miss a little over 20 games. So you mean to tell me that a player who has a worse injury, supposed to be out 6 to 8 weeks, comes back in a week and a half and that's nothing? Because some NBA fan who lives up to certain tropes believes that it's nothing? That's nonsense. The facts represent that's a nonsense take.
That wasn't just it. And
what do you mean it was just, if you have a grade 3 MCL sprain and you can't move laterally, it's nothing?
But let
me sprain your knee and you tell me it's nothing.
If it's nothing, and another thing too, no, you want me to tell you why it's nothing? Because again,
he played. Expose the foolish NBA takes us out.
He played. It's not foolish because again, when we see people like LeBron who have a cast on his hand after the case, we say it's no excuse. We say we don't want to hear about it, right?
You say that. That's the foolish take.
No, I don't say that.
You say that. You say it right now.
Gentlemen,
a guy with a 6 to 8 week injury comes back in a week and a half and it doesn't matter.
Did he play?
Guys, listen. So I have some quick
statistics.
Did he play?
Guys, give me 1 second. I have some quick statistics here for the 2014-2015 season. If we're going basically just off scoring, right? Steph was 6th that year in scoring. So I'm just giving you the stats and the numbers. It was Westbrook leading with 28, Harden 2, 27, LeBron 25 at 3.
What's his PER? You know, I like that.
That's not It's not PER. It's basically.
No, I'm asking what it is. You said, I like that stat. But go ahead.
I can't stand it. But I'm just giving you a perspective in terms of what make Anthony believe he's not the best player in the league. He wasn't leading the league in scoring, and I think that's clearly.
No, it really has nothing to do with scoring. I'm talking about literally just all around being the best player. Just because he was lighting the league up as the best scorer, if you wanted to call him that, if that, or whatever the case may be, cool.
But never. Like when KD came, the numbers are still there. If anything, certain numbers improved when KD pulled up. What are you saying?
But as the better player, it is still would have remained.
He's the better player, but when KD, the numbers indicate that when KD was out during the KD era and Steph played, they won games.
I love that foolish narrative because that means nothing. What does that mean? That just means nothing.
That's
that means nothing.
When the system is built around the player, it matters. What are you saying? The system is built around.
No, and that's my point. When you implement another player and now that system becomes around them, that means they're better.
But that didn't happen. You don't know what you're talking about. That didn't happen.
When the playoffs came and it was crunch time and it was time to give somebody the ball and move out the way, who was that who saved them?
That's his role. That is his role.
Okay. And as the better player, it was also his role to put up better production to put up better. Well, he's putting up better production to end up Finals MVP and different things like that.
Moderator, go get the numbers and show me how they putting up better production. If you look at Kevin Durant's numbers and Steph Curry's numbers, all across the board during that era, very comparable.
No, see, look, I like how you like to double talk. Don't say that it's better and then say when you pull up the numbers, they're going to be similar. Yeah, they'll be close. They'll be close.
Guys,
they'll be close.
Listen,
that's what I said.
Okay. Until KD got there.
You don't even know what you're saying.
Until KD got there.
Listen, guys, listen. I would love to sit here and let you guys go at it because this is highly entertaining. It doesn't seem that we're going to get any form of common ground.
You can't get common ground with a hater.
I'm not hating. Like, he just wasn't the best player in the league. It's just not. It's not even that deep.
I don't care about
even know why people are attacking me for this.
People like you who know basketball but clearly have an issue with Steph Curry.
A lot of people have came. See, look, a lot of people have came back from that because they seen, okay, we was wilding or whatever. But see, this is my point. Better from you. See, it's him. People like that who still want to bring up this. We seen it already. He's not built like that. Stop
built
it.
Like what?
Built like the best player in the league. What? He's not. He's never.
But he never was. We already established that 10 minutes ago. Why are you circling back there?
Hold on, that what?
We passed that, Chief. We talking
That
about you being
what?
a hater, ignoring facts that's right in front of your face because you don't like the player.
Okay, all right, guys.
Hold on, did you just agree with me? I just want to get that clear. Did you
I agree with you 10 minutes ago. We passed that.
Oh, okay, that's all. Okay, I missed it. I'm sorry, I missed it.
Listen, guys, thank you for coming in here on the Zoom to discuss Steph Curry's overrated. I believe we should have a second edition to have another party in here. We need to have another voice in this debate because clearly we need someone else. I'd love to do it again.
As long as you don't have any jobbers in this mix, it's all good. I can argue with Anthony.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I'll make sure we don't get a jobber in here for you. But make sure you subscribe to the Sports Hitless podcast.
Yes, sir.
Shout out your podcast too for the fans so they can tune in.
You already know what it is, the gray area. Anthony's been on multiple times. We've argued about other things on that podcast. Even our own Lakers. We slap box about our Lakers all the time.
Everything.
We got the rap round table as well. This is the homie right here. He annoys me, but he makes sense. So this is why I argue with him.
Listen, he doesn't make sense. I just give up the arguments. Sometimes I just roll my eyes and just say, you know what, you win. Just so he can.
Listen, we can all agree that this ain't
common.
It's fine.
Yeah, we definitely agree on that.
Well, I'll talk to you guys soon. Definitely, again, please make sure you check out the Gray Area. Check out the Sports Hit List by the fans for the fans. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.
All right, y'all stay safe, man. Keep your immune system up. Keep that ginger, vitamin C, all of that good stuff in your system.
Will do.